Oh man, this is heavy. Hi, how you doing? I'm getting ready to mix up some Thinset because we're going to finish installing the ceramic tile floor here. And Thinset's really neat stuff. It comes in these big, heavy 50-pound bags. And as you can see as I'm pouring it out, you know, it looks a lot just like cement. You know, it's just a powder. And all in all, whoa, it's a little dusty too. Whoa. Wow, look at that. So let me tell you a little bit about what Thinset is. Here, I'll show it to you. You'll notice on the bag, when you go to the store, a tile store or home center, it'll say it. It'll say Thinset mortar. And it comes in two colors. This one's gray, but you can sometimes get it in white if you go to a ceramic tile distributor. And you want to use white sometimes if you're putting down a white floor in case some of that Thinset oozes up between the tiles. So anyway, here's what Thinset is. It's basically just Portland cement powder and very fine silica sand. And when you mix it with water, it makes like a miniature concrete. That's really important when you're putting down ceramic floor tile. Here's why. If you were to use some of those spreadable organic mastics that look like cake icing, and you put your tile on that, what happens is that the floor tile, that mastic never really gets hard. And if you walk on the floor tile or put something very heavy on a floor tile, that tile will crack. That won't happen with Thinset, because when the Thinset cures after about a day or two, it's just like concrete. Some Thinsets have these water-based or these powdered glues in them. They're called acrylic hardeners and modifiers, and they'll actually make it very sticky. But just regular Thinset, when you mix it right, it's very sticky. All you have to do, and here you can see some of the powder here, it's very powdery. Look at that. You just have to add some water to it. I like to use a mixing knife that's very stiff. You'll notice I can't bend this blade. If you use a blade that's kind of bendable, this gets pretty dense, and if you press too hard, you'll actually crack the blade, and I've done that before, so that's why I've switched to these little stiffer blades. So we'll get this out of the way. I've got some nice clean water here, and you don't want to pour too much in because you've got to get it to the right consistency. I may have poured too much water in. We're going to find out here. Oh, that's not bad. What I'm looking for is a consistency that's a lot like, pancake batter is about the best way to describe it. You know, pancake batter is really pretty thick, but it's pourable. And you can see right now, this is a little too dry. That's not going to get it, but we're really, really close. At this point, you have to add water very slowly. And I'm actually going to do it with my hands because I don't want to just pour it in because I'll add too much. So I'm just going to put a little dash of water in, like you can see that. See this? Just maybe like 2 ounces, not much. And sometimes it'll look like it's still too dry, but let me tell you, don't make it too thin. Oh yeah, it's getting pretty close. See, you can still see some dry powder down there, so we need to add more. Yeah, that's probably going to be it right there. I'm going to scoop some out. Once I get it right, I'm going to scoop some out onto the floor and onto this mixing paddle, and you'll see what the consistency should be. If you were going to mix a lot of this up at once, you would want to get one of those paddles that you put on the end of a drill. Oh, I bet you that's going to be it right there. Oh, this is good stuff. But remember, the Thinset, got to use it for floor tiles. It works really well as in ceramic tile showers. It's very, very good material. Oh, that's looking really good. And you want to make sure when you mix it up that you get all the lumps out of it. But here, look at this. That's what it's supposed to look like. See, and you can see it's pourable. It'll fall off the knife. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. That's exactly what it should look like. Final tip. Only mix up as much Thinset as you can put down on the floor and cover with tile in about 15 minutes. You don't want this stuff to sit in the bucket very long because it'll actually start to crystallize and get hard. And if you add more water to it, it's called retempering it. That's really kind of a bad thing. You don't want to do that. Only mix enough that you can use in 20 minutes. I'm Tim Carter for AskTheBuilder.com. If you want to discover more home improvement tips, go to AskTheBuilder.com.